Penny, in one of her quotes, mentioned, "The world needs strong women, women who will lift and build others, who will love and be loved, women who will live bravely, both tender and fierce, women of indomitable will." Kuzambula, I'm 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝘆, bringing you season 3 of Her Story. Her Story was initially birthed by one of BBS's beloved producers, 𝗟𝗍𝗶𝘆, carried forward into season 2 by another outstanding producer, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏. And now it is both an honor and a pleasure to be the producer and the host for this new season of Her Story. Her Story has brought forward exemplary women in our community. On the show, we have previously had ministers, writers, actors, teachers, entrepreneurs, vloggers, and other trailblazers. Thank goodness we do not have a shortage of inspirational women in the country, because this season we hope to continue bringing out women from all walks of life who are empowered and don't shy away from living life on their own terms. And since all substantial women carry a beauty of their own, I'm equally glad for the beautiful 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗶𝗍𝗍, a premium furniture and decor store that has both the latest and vintage aesthetics for your homes and offices. 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗶𝗍𝗍 is our location partner, and I couldn't have found a more beautiful set for all the lovely and incredible women we have on the show this season. Without any further delay, let's meet our first guest of the season. Beauty with brain. She's been a household name for all the good reasons. She came in second in the 2003 𝗟𝗏𝗀𝗍𝗍 examination and worked as a human resource officer shortly before pursuing a career in acting. After some 15 years as Bhutan's leading thespian, she was elected as a National Council member in 2018. And now she's back to acting, making a full circle. In addition to all these feathers in her cap, she's also a loving wife, a doting mother, and a self-confessed religious person. I'm delighted to present to you the inspirational 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for making time.
My pleasure.
Please sit a little. All right, so thank you so much. I take a lot of pleasure in having you here and talking about women and womanhood, and what better way than to start the whole brand new season with you. But my first question, is how does it feel to have achieved, I believe, so much in such little time?
Well, thank you for having me. I don't know if my story will inspire any women or any person, but you asked me how I feel for having so much. But personally, I feel I have a long way to go. I haven't done much in life, so. But whatever I have achieved, I feel very lucky and very privileged, I would say.
I would usually keep this question in the end, but I want to know, what is there to conquer? What is there to achieve now? What are you looking forward to? What is your goal hereafter then?
Not personally for myself, but my dream would be having like 50% of women representation in the parliament. So not for myself, for the country, for our women. So that would be my dream, and that's why I say I have done so little to achieve that. And I know it's going to be very ambitious, but then I'm hoping that we'll get there.
So you're back in the world of cinema now. What is keeping you busy?
Well, I've been lucky after I lost the election last year. So I've been engaged in The Voice of Bhutan season 6. I've been anchoring. And right after that, I'm involved in this new movie, 𝗟𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, which I would say is very close to my heart, because it revolves around rape victim and survival. So it's something that it's very close to my heart, whether I was in the parliament or whether I'm an actor. So I'm doing that. I just wrapped up my shooting yesterday, so it's a perfect timing.
Oh, great. Were you always sure that after your tenure as a NC member, you would fall back to acting?
Actually, honestly, I didn't have that backup plan. I'm someone who always believed in destiny, and never say never. So I always kept the option open. And because acting was not in a backup plan, because I recontested and I thought maybe I will win. But then, as I said, destiny, takes you wherever you're destined to be. So I'm back to the industry, and I'm having, it feels like coming home, and I'm enjoying every bit of it.
Wow. I don't want to term it as failure, because I don't think there's such thing as failure, because it's a redirection for your life. So what was in your head when you realized and when you found out that, you know what, I'm going to have to do something else?
After I lost the election.
When you found out the results of the election?
No, I was, to me, even now, I tell every aspiring young women that election is unpredictable. We all know that. We have to be prepared for that. When you decide to contest, or when you join politics, you have to keep in mind that you will either lose or win. So politics is unpredictable. And sadly, women will not be able to make it as much as we want to, but I'm dreaming big, and I hope we get there someday. But when I lost the election, what was going through my mind was, maybe I'm not destined to be their representative at this moment. And I respect that, because if you look at 2018, we had 8 capable candidates, and they gave me the opportunity. So in my mind, I was thinking all I did was the best I could. In the last 5 years, they have given me the opportunity. I gave my best, and this time they wanted a change, so I respect that. And I didn't have any backup plan, or nothing was going on. I just thought I'll relax and see what comes my way. So here I am today.
Wow, all right, okay. I especially ask this question because I want, especially young women out there, to look at examples of when women have a dream, when they have an ambition, and when things don't work out accordingly. So this is why I asked you that question. I want to take you back to when you were a kid, because I think a lot of who we are as adults has to go back to how we were as kids. If you could talk about maybe one core memory of childhood that helped shape who you are now as a woman.
Actually, interestingly, my life has revolved around men. You know, my dad was in army. I know that the army discipline. I have like, I grew up in an extended family because I lost my mom when I was very young. And I have my grandpa, who is a public servant, who served as 𝗘𝗶𝘁𝗵 for 15 years. My dad was in army, but after he resigned, he served as a 𝗘𝗶 for 15 years. So I actually grew up with monks and army combined together, and I have the discipline, and also at a very young age, because I lost my mom, I always thought I have to take her place someday. So that kept me going. Instead
How
of
young were you?
I was 6 months. I never knew my mom. When I grew up, I thought my grandma was my mom, because I call her my mom. And then when I realized that I lost my mom, I thought maybe I need to be stronger. I need to come stronger, and maybe I wanted to be her, because she died at a very young age. She was 23 when she passed away. So I thought she haven't seen life much, and I have to do it for her too. So that kept me going, and the guys, the men around me were very supportive of everything I did, or every little dream I had. They were very supportive. So I think that shaped me who I am, very strong and determined, but at the same time, of course, I have my softer,
I'm sure,
version too.
So did you have anyone growing up? Did you have any women figure that you looked up to?
When I was younger, my grandma, I always thought she was like, she had 2 children, she raised this single-handedly, and you know, you're a mother,
Yeah.
I'm a mother, it's so difficult for us to raise
With
even
one
a
kid.
single child. And I used to wonder, how can she manage all of us sitting on the floor, you know, serving each children, you know, food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then again doing all the household chores all by herself. So she was kind of, to me, when I grew up, of course I lost her when I was 15, so when I look back, I think she was one person that I always thought women can do multiple jobs, women can multitask. So that's how I learned from, you know, her.
What? Of course, now I find out that your grandpa and your dad was somehow in politics, right, as GUPS. But what other reasons prompted you to join politics?
Yeah, the first reason is, of course, my grandpa's last dying wish. You know, he wanted me to at least represent Punakha, because Punakha didn't have a women in last election. So he said, before I die, I want you to at least make an impact in say that yes, we had Punakha, we have women from Punakha who is representing us. The first reason was that. The second reason was, as I learned more and more from my grandpa and dad, I thought there is no better service than being a people's representative to serve the community. And also, we didn't have any women from Punakha. And if you look at Punakha women, everyone is so talented, but no one's coming forward. Why? So I said, maybe for future generation. Because, you know, if you look at the ratio, girls, you know, even school enrollment, girls top. So for the young girls, and I also have 2 young girls, so I wanted to be an inspiration for them and say that, yes, we can do it. So that was my reason why I came forward.
And you proved them.
And I was lucky. Yes. I would say I was lucky. And
you're deserving is what I would say. I think you deserved it. What? I mean, especially, I think it's, for when we try and get to know women, it is important that we learn the challenges women face. What challenges did you face when you made the transition from the entertainment industry to politics?
Transition wasn't too difficult, I would say, because I was in the movie industry and then everyone knew you. So the familiarization tour was very easy for me because I didn't really have to go and say, I am 𝗟𝗵𝗸𝗶, please listen to me. Everyone said, oh, 𝗟𝗵 is here, let's listen to her. So it was kind of overwhelming when I went for the familiarization tour. But then the main challenge is lies, of course. You think it's easy, but it's not. But if you think it is impossible, it's not. I would say you can do it, but there are challenges because you have to walk for hours. You have some villages are not connected with the road, so you have to walk. And then sometimes, you know, it's not too safe also to walk when it's night. So it's a little, you know, challenge. Compared to men, I would say women will face more challenges. But if you ask me, was it impossible? I would say no, because I did it with breastfeeding young boys.
Yes.
So I think it's just the passion that you need to have to go forward, and whatever, you know, responsibility you are given or whatever path you have chosen, you need to have focus. So nothing is impossible, I would say.
I see.
But of course, nothing is also easy. It doesn't come easy, so you really have to have this strong determination if you are deciding to join politics.
I see. And you, like you mentioned, you had a newborn while you were in the office.
Yes.
And there was criticism around it.
Yes.
How did you manage it?
I was trolled very badly for taking my baby to the parliament, sadly. And some people, I don't want to mention the name, but high profile people came to me and said, why now? You know, of all the time, why now? And I said,
why now as in why have a baby now?
Yeah, now. And I said, oh, sorry. He's a former limbo. And I said, oh, sorry, 𝗟𝗵𝗸𝗶. We don't plan when to get babies. You know, it's one's own karmic connection or destiny when to come and when not to come. But of course now with modern technology people do plan, but for me what they don't know is I have been, you know, I've been wanting to have a baby and it didn't happen, and I've been struggled for last I don't know how many years to have a baby, and suddenly I call him a miracle boy because when I gave up hope, I became a mother at a very like later stage. I was 39 when I gave birth to my son. So I think I was trolled very badly for taking the baby to the parliament, and someone very harshly wrote, said, "Oh, thank God you didn't take your baby into the hall." And what I regret now is I should have taken him.
Yeah,
and
just to make a statement.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Why
Because
not have a baby when I can? Like, it's at my term. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, because I believe it's human, you know. I'm just making parliament is not about humans. It's human. Babies are, you know, part of you. So why not? I had to take him because I couldn't take my maternity leave because he was just 3 months and the session started and the 5-year plan was going on. I didn't want to miss that. So I didn't stay back home idle. I took the baby because he has to be fed every 2 hours. So I kept him in the office. So every break I used to run and feed him and go back. So instead of appreciating what you have been doing, people, of course, they are not everyone, but from my colleagues and from my former boss, I got all the positive support, which I'm very grateful to everyone.
Wow. So then when you had that a not so welcoming beginning to motherhood, especially in your office, who did you turn to for support?
The speaker was very, the former speaker, he was very like, oh, you should even bring your boy to the session, you know, if it's very difficult for him to stay away. So that was very reassuring. And of course my former TISIN, they were very like supportive, my colleagues were supportive. It's just the outsider, when they came for the opening and closing ceremony, they just said, oh, why now, of all the time, why did you have babies? Wow. But then these are meant to be. I was mentally prepared that somebody is going to, because you can't make everyone happy. So
True.
I was mentally prepared, but my family, my colleagues were supportive. So.
Nice. So you mentioned you did not take any maternity leave. So not at all.
Not at all, in the sense, maybe a month. But then, sadly, my grandpa's wish was fulfilled. You know, he wanted before he died, he wanted me to be elected. I got elected. I was pregnant, but like 3 weeks after I had my baby, he passed away. So I took that leave, but then not the maternity leave, because RICS was happening, the leadership program in 𝗬𝘁cie RICS was happening. I didn't want to miss that. The session was happening. I didn't want to miss that. So I took a chance to take the baby, and then in the meantime DESU was happening, and I even asked when my friends went, can I bring the baby to the DESU? And they said no. I said I'll just go and the breastfeed and then join, and they said no, not with the baby this time. So I had missed that. Otherwise I wouldn't have missed anything.
I think you basically, what you did was you basically went and tested all the organizations and institutions whether they're ready for a woman to be.
Yes.
Because it's very easy for organizations and the government to say, you know what, we want women to participate. But is the government really ready for women? Because you really tested them. You really put them on test. And I'm so glad you did this, but it sounds challenging.
Yes, it was challenging, but RICS was easier because the director, 𝗙𝗪𝗺𝗀 was very welcoming when I mentioned that, Dasha, I'm coming with this baby. I know we have to share rooms and we have to be with friends, but can you please give me a separate room? Not because I wanted it, because I don't want to disturb other colleagues, and I had to take my babysitter, so can you just allocate a separate room? And he was very welcoming. Even at the institute, when I was going to the classes, he would provide me an office to have my babysitter and me, you know, have what you call the intervals that I rush to breastfeed my baby. So he was very welcoming. I'm very grateful, and I like to thank Dasha, and I hope you keep because men like you will inspire us. Thank you.
I agree. And this is a testimony to how we can make our workspace women-friendly, especially mother-friendly.
True.
And you cannot say we are for women's rights and we are for equal rights if you don't support women like that.
True.
More.
That's true.
In your line of work, whether it is acting or politics, when you began acting, you didn't have a lot of good role models, even in acting and even in politics. So what made you think you could do it?
Maybe I'm raised by men around me, because I never looked at acting or politics honestly as a gender-based issue or gender roles. You know, I always thought, if him, why not me?
Exactly.
You know, that was my and of course my dad and my grandpa and I have 3 monks in my life, my uncles, so those were my inspiration, you know, to look at. And because they never looked at me as a woman. They always thought I was equal to anyone in the family. So I grew up with my mother's 12 siblings, so it was inspiring. 8 men, 4 women in the family, so more men again.
Wow.
So it was interesting to grow up.
What do you think we should do to encourage women in politics? Because it's a big problem.
I know, it's to me, actually, honestly, the bigger problem is women not coming forth. I have been told by political parties that they want to include more women candidates, but women are not willing. So I know maybe it's because women are by nature, you know, you always stand, oh, I have to take care of children, I have to take care of home, I have to take care of the parents, aging parents, I have more responsibility at home. I would rather send my husband, you know, in the front line, and I take a step back. So to all the women, all the young aspiring women, I think winning and losing will be there in anything that you do, but you have to come forward. That's what I want to say. And to this I have been telling every time I get to talk to the political parties, has to whether women come forward or not, but you have to encourage women to at least have 30% of your candidates. You know, if you keep that, allocate that for women, then more women might come. But I know it's at this moment women don't want to come, because if you look at the trend, it's been declining.
Yes.
And then I also ask the question myself, is it because they don't trust us? Is it because people look at women differently, especially in leadership you know, role? I don't know. I also don't have an answer, because it's a little tricky. We don't have women coming forward, but for those who are come forward, you don't feel that you are getting enough support.
I see.
The practical acceptance, women as leaders, is not there.
I see.
And maybe we may have to still do a lot of advocacy and a lot of education to make people realize not to look at politics as gender-based issue, or, you know, that women can't do or men are better. So that's my appeal to everyone who is looking up.
Well, can you share some memorable moments from your tenure in the National Council that has left an impact on you?
I think from the day I joined as a representative of 𝗏𝗏 in the National Council till the 9th May 2023, till my last day in office, every single day has been memorable. But something that is that I'm proud to look back and to think that you have done something is we have been able to, not just me, of course, it comes as a teamwork, but then my committee, especially Social and Culture Affairs Committee, proposed the amendment of the Penal Code. Especially our committee also delved into like suicide and mental issue. We have done a comprehensive study, 1-year study, and gave recommendations to the government. So these are things that I cherish.
I see.
And then I feel because by doing that, because Penal Code amendment took a 1.5 year battle, and you have less women. So to convince our male counterpart, not that they don't support, but to convince them to support and be our backbone was a little uphill challenge. So, but then we were able to do it, and we're happy about it.
Are there any specific causes or issues that you still, even after you have left your position as a National Council member, that you continue to champion now as an actor?
I still want to do advocacy on suicide and mental health, and also you know, it's very important to give hope and inspiration to rape victims and survival, you know. because it's very, I think our society is very, very small, and we know everyone, we know each other, so it's very difficult for I feel that survival, rape survival, and that's why I'm doing this movie also. So these are things very close to my heart, and I will still continue to advocate on that, and also to inspire more women, encourage more women to come forward.
In politics?
Politics,
okay,
yes.
All right.
Because unless you have, at the moment, I'm being very honest, if you look at the trend, it's such a disappointment, but the only solace we can have right now is in the wisdom of His Majesty to appoint more women in the eminent members, so that you can have equal voice in the parliament. Otherwise, out of 90 people who contested for NC in the fourth NC election, there were only 5 women who contested, and out of 5, only 1 got elected.
Yeah.
So the voice is very,
True.
is going to be, I don't know if it will make a difference, but then I wish women come forward, because if more women come forward, I feel out of 90 instead of 5, if you had 40 women, maybe more women will get elected.
True.
That's
True.
my,
I see.
logic. So I hope more women come forward. I want to encourage and inspire. I don't know if I'm the right person, but still I want to.
I think you are. You have lived it through your life. So, but my final question, and I hope to keep this the final question for the rest of the episodes too. And this is a question that a very prominent American reporter asks. Barbara Walters asks her guests. I'm going to give you a sentence, but I'm going to leave it blank. 𝗬𝗪𝗫 is, in your word, please describe yourself.
Very focused, determined, and very passionate about what she's doing.
I see. All right. Well, thank you so much. We'll now go to our last segment, which is it's fun. It's no serious questions this time. Okay? It's fun.
Definitely be remembered for something terrible than not remember at all. Telepathy, so that I can read people's mind. Definitely, 100%. It's that be prepared to lose if you join politics.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode. There are many more wonderful women we're hoping to bring on for each episode. So catch you next time with another superwoman. Same time, same place. Until then, I leave you with this popular quote by fashion icon Coco Chanel. A girl should be 2 things: who and what she wants. Thank you for watching. Take care and goodbye.